Brachos of our learning. Maybe a panacea before Shlema. Everyone that needs. Okay, we're going to start. We're going to start on the bottom of Yud Tes. It's good we went a little bit ahead yesterday. We're up to 3 lines from the bottom. What happened here was they said the Ziknei Kahuna told the Kohen Gadol, we are messengers from the Bezdin, and you are our messenger and a messenger from the Bezdin. So it's making it look like the Kohen Gadol is a messenger of the people. The problem is, this appears to be a strong question on Rav Huna Breder Rav Yeshua. Rav Huna Breder Rav Yeshua is a later Amira. He's a friend of Rav Papa, student of Abaya and Rabbah. What does he say? Damar Rav Huna Breder Rav Yeshua. Hani kani shluchei derachmananu. The Kayanim, I'm on the bottom line of Shutes. The Kayanim are messengers of Hashem, of the Eibishter, of the merciful one, not of the people. The Iyamrit shluchei didaninu, because if you would say that the Kayanim are our messengers, so how could the Kayanim be our messengers? A messenger means that they're doing something for you. If you're not able to do it, then how could they do it? You're a Yisrael. You're a Zar. You can't do the service. So how could you have the Kayanim do the service for you? That's impossible. So therefore, they're messengers of the Eibishter. So the Gemara says, okay, so what's the so how do we resolve this? We said that they tell the Kohen Gadol that he's our messenger. Says what they mean is that we administer an oath to you that you have to swear on our intention what we say that this means, because in the in oaths it could be that it's he can switch it a little bit and not he didn't lie, he just said the exact words, but he meant something else in his mind. So they have to tell him that, no, you're not swearing, you're not taking an oath based on what you're thinking. You're taking an oath based on what we're thinking. That's al dateno. It's on the intention of what Bezdin considers the meaning of these words. You follow? Because when someone takes an oath, he can just claim that, oh, well, I say that steal means something else, and I say that don't actually means yes. So when I said I don't steal or whatever, I meant that So you say, no, it's al das. It's the way we translate the words. So that's al das. Follow? Okay. The professor brought for us. This is purslane, right? Purslane. Let me show you what it is.
Ali, you're frozen.
You there? No.
You're back. You're back.
Sorry about that. Okay, it disappeared. Who Pirish Shabbaichem, Ain Pirish Shabbaichem? Do you see where we are? We're on 19b. We're saying here that he separates and he cries, the Kain Gadol, and they also separate and they cry. The Gemara explains. Who Pirish Shabbaichem? They separate first to Tzeduki, because he's crying simply that he was suspected.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So that's why he's crying. V'heim Parshin Abaychen, and they separate and they cry. Dam Rabbi Shua ben Levi said, we had this Gemara in Shabbos. Kalacheshid b'ksherim, anyone that suspects the innocent makes an allegation. Like begufay, he gets smitten with his body.
Oh whoa!
Right? Where do we see this? We see this from Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu says that the Jewish people won't listen to me. They won't believe me.
Oh, no.
So he puts his hand inside. Hashem says, put the hand inside your chest and take it out, and his hand had tzaras. You see what happens if someone, he accused the Jewish people that they won't believe him.
Wow.
Kol kach lama, why do they have to make this oath? What are they doing over there? They're telling him that he has to swear. The Tzedukim would set up the Ketores outside the Kodesh HaKadoshim, and then they would enter the Kodesh HaKadoshim with already the smoke coming out. And they learned the pasuk Ki ba'anan eira la kapayros, that with the cloud, I'll be seen. Ela kapayros, I'll be seen to the kapayros, which is the lid of the ark. So that means that according to the Tzedukim, they wanted to have the cloud first. However, the psukim actually say clearly that you should go inside and you should put the coals and put the keteris on top of it. So in the psukim it's clear like Chazal, but they have one verse that follows them, that with the cloud I will enter. So
how could all the psukim say the opposite? How can I go with the other?
Yeah, usually they're literal. I'm not sure why why over here they're not literal. Okay, Tan Rabbanan, there was a story. There's a story. There was a Tzeduki. He must have been a Kain Gadol. He prepared the Keteris outside the chamber, outside the Kodesh HaKadoshim, and then he went inside. So he was so thrilled. This is rejoicing. So he sees his father. Now it's surprising. How did he become a Kohen Gadol without his father? It must have been that he bought it.
Yeah.
So usually the father passes it to the son. Amar Lai says, "B'ni afal pishat tzedukimanu." Even though we're tzedukim, but misyarmanu min aprushim, we still have some respect. We're still afraid of the prushim. Don't be so excited about that you did it differently. Yeah, chutzpah. Amar Lai, so this son says, sounds like a teenager, Kol Yama Yisimistar al Mikrazeh, all my days I was concerned about this pasuk, Kibana Neira like a pyrus, that with the cloud I will be seen by in front of the ark. Amarti Masa Yave Liyadi Vakemenu. That's like a quote from Rabbi Akiva. That when is it going to come to my hands? I can fulfill it. Akshav Shabal Liyadi like Kemenu. Now that it came to my hands, shouldn't I fulfill the verse? I'm able to fulfill the verse the way we translate it. Amru, people said, this fellow was just a matter of days where he died, and he was laying in the garbage, his body. And there were worms crawling out of his nose.
Oh boy!
Why out of his nose? Because the nose enters first.
Oh.
And the nose entered first into the Kodesh HaKadoshim. Some say that as he went out, he got hit by the angel. The Tani Reb Chia, Kamin Kal Nishma Bazara. They heard this big sound in the Azara. Shabbat Malach v'chavta al panav. An angel came and hit him on his face. The brothers came in and matzah b'kaf regel ogol ben kseifa. It looks like, I'm not sure what this means. It looks like he had a footprint of a calf between his shoulders.
Ooh.
Shenema v'ragleim regel yeshara. It says in Yecheskel regarding the angels that their feet is a straight foot, and the kaf ragleim to kaf regel, and the hoof, the palm is like a calf. That's the angels. So that's why you had a footprint. You're checking everyone's feet. The angels have a calf footprint.
Split. Oh, split.
Yeah, split, and that's what they found. They found that. Okay.
In the front or his back?
So it was hit on his face, but they found this on his back. Ben Ksefov means between his shoulders. On his back, it sounds like. Okay, Amar Rab Zechariah ben Kvuter. We're talking about what does the Kohen Gadol read the whole night? How does he stay up, right? So we said that he reads Iyay Bezer and Divrei Hayamim, and Zechariah ben Kvuter says that many times he was there and he read Daniel to the Kohen Gadol. So Amar Rab Zechariah ben Kvuter. Yeah. Masnila Rav Chanan bar Rava l'Chia bar Rav Kamei de Rav. Rav Chanan bar Rava is teaching Chia bar Rav in front of Rav. This must be very uncomfortable because Chia bar Rav is the son of Rav. Chanan bar Rava, I think, is the son-in-law of Rav, and he's teaching his I guess his brother-in-law, if he's the son-in-law, and the Rav, the father-in-law, the father is sitting there and listening, so he better do this correct. Amar Rab Zechariah ben Amar. What happened there? Amar Rab Zechariah ben Kvuta. This is what he's saying. He's saying Rab Zechariah ben Kvuta. Sounds like that. Not kaputel. It's kavutel.
Oh boy.
It's like with a vase instead of a pay. So the name Malay Maymar. So why didn't he made a motion to say it with the vase? I don't know what the motion. He made a motion with his hand. I don't know what that would look like. What's the sign language in Hebrew? Aleph, Beis. Is that how it goes? Yeah, Aleph, Beis, Gimel, Dalet. What's Hey? Hey, that's boy. Easy. And Vav? Vav. So that's what's Aleph. Oh, Aleph is this. Anyway, so he made a sign. He made a motion. So why didn't he say it directly? The Gemara answers Kriya Shema Vikari was in the middle of Shema. Right? The Gemara says Kriya Shema Vikari was in the middle of Shema. He couldn't talk. So in the middle of Shema, you're allowed to do hand motions. You just don't talk. You're silent. But meanwhile, you text. You're not allowed to do this. You're not allowed to wink. You're not allowed to make motions with your lips. You're not allowed to make symbols with your fingers. Betanya Rebbe Elazar Chisma Imer. Rebbe Elazar Chisma, the student of Rabbi Akiva. Sometimes it says Rebbe Elazar ben Chisma. The Gemara, the Medrash tells us that this Rebbe Elazar went to a place. They asked him to daven for them, but he didn't know how to daven for them. So they started to laugh at him. He's a student, a yeshiva student. He can't. So he goes back to Rabbi Akiva, and they didn't have Sidurim back then. So he goes back to Rabbi Akiva. Rabbi Akiva teaches him how to lead the service. When he comes back to the place, he davens beautifully, and they called him Rebbe Elazar Chisma. Chisma means he silenced them. He silenced everyone because of. Anyway, so listen to what he says. Someone that reads the Shema, Maramis Be'inav, and he winks, he does symbols with his eyes. He makes symbols with his signs with his lips. Or he shows signs with his fingers. I think, how do they translate that?
But you did not call out to me, O Jacob.
Yeah, you did not call out to me, O Jacob.
Oh boy.
So that means that you're not davening properly if you do that. So how was Rav allowed to do this? Listen to the answer. Like Kasha. There's three sections of Shema. The first one, you're not allowed to make a hand symbol, and the second one, you are. Yeah. I don't have a note here saying that this is the halacha.
Oh,
So I don't know. Does it say anything by you what the halacha is? In the Steinsaltz, it has the halacha.
Some commentaries explain this verse as referring to the midrash that Yaakov did not fall on Yosef's neck and embrace him when he met him because he was reciting the Shema. Okay.
Uh-huh.
One who gestures with his hands while reciting Shema acts contrary to the conduct of Yaakov.
Uh-huh. Is there a, but there's
So-
none that say halacha?
No.
Okay, we don't have it.
in brachas and stuff, right? The guy
Yeah.
was sitting up on the tree, the olive tree, and like what part you could like interrupt on.
Oh, yeah. Here we're not saying about. Yeah, here we're saying what's considered an interruption. If it's the it could be it was in brachas also. Brachas Tezayin, it tells us. Okay, Taner Rabbanan. Start in the Brayse of Dibarta Bam. You should speak in them. Bam, v'loy betfila. Isn't that interesting? Speak in them, but not in Shemon Esrei. That means that you say Kriya Shema out loud, but Shemon Esrei you have to say silently. You hear the pshat? Bam v'loy betfila. You can't say Shemon Esrei out loud. V'dibarta bam. Another interpretation. Bam. What does it mean? Bam in them. Bam yesh l'charishus l'daber. V'loy bedvarim acherim. In Shema and in regarding Torah matters, you're allowed to talk, but don't talk about anything else. Don't talk about the news, politics, or sichas hayeladim, the child chatter. Ravacha Amar v'dibarta bam. Ravacha says v'dibarta bam aseh some keva val tasmarai. Torah you have to make permanent. Don't make Torah temporary. That means that your main conversation is in Torah. Amar Rava says, anyone that says any idle talk violates a positive mitzvah. You had the ability to speak in Torah, and you went and you spoke about other things. Yeah, isn't that interesting? Rava, this is Rava's opinion. There's a note here that says this is the halacha. This is very scary.
That's horrible.
Okay. Ravacha bar Yaakov over belav. There's even a negative prohibition. Shnemar kol advarim yigayim v'lo yuchal l'daber. Well, it can't be it's a negative prohibition in Koheles. It says all matters are weary. They make you tired. They make you weak. A person can't speak. That means that when a person speaks about other things, he doesn't get any return from.
Wow.
It just makes him tired. Yeah, like the way it works with the news is that after you read the news, you still don't know what happens. So you have to check another news site because to see what their commentary is on it. And when you're done, you still don't know what happened after many sites. Still not 100% clear. Okay. Bikesh Liasnamne, we're at the Mishnah. The Mishnah says that if the Kohen Gadol he's tired, he's fall asleep, and it's Yom Kippur by night. So Pirchi kuna makan lefan of Betza Tzrada. The young Kohanim, Pirchi kuna means the sprouting Kohanim, because their beards are starting to sprout. That's what they call Pirchi. Perach is a flower. The young Kohanim, they snap in front of the Kohen Gadol. They like to wake him up. Yeah. That's Betzarada. Tzarada, we're going to see what that means. And they say, Yishi Kohen Gadol Amayd, my master, the Kohen Gadol, stand up. Hafik achas ala ritzba. Hafik achas. I don't know if it means put one foot or if it means put once.
Wow.
Cool off once on the what do they say? 1 foot or cool off once? Hafik is to cool off.
It says stand up and dispel your drowsiness once on the floor.
Once. Okay, good. Okay. I think when I was in school, my Rebbe said put 1 foot.
So
That may be a different hafik achas. Cool off 1 foot.
The
That must
floor
be
was cool.
yeah, because it was marble. Hafik achas al ritzba. Put your foot down on the floor so you don't get tired. Yeah, they would tell us stories of gedolim that were studying, and they would get tired. They took a bucket of ice water and they put it on by their feet. They put their feet in it so they could stay up and to learn more.
Shuvos like tricks.
Put it over your head.
Put it over your head.
It's only like,
The challenge. Masikin Esad Shegias Mana Shchita, and they keep him busy until the time of Shchita of the first carbon, which is the Tamid. Okay, Maitzarada, what does it mean that he bangs with his finger? With his, what is this, with the Tzarada finger? Amar Rav Yehuda, Tzarasadada, it's a rival finger. I'm not sure what it means, a rival. Maybe it means it's a rival. Oh, Maihi, what is it a rival to? Gudal, it's a rival to the thumb. I guess because you put the two together like that, and then you snap. So that's its rival. The thumb and this are considered rivals. I would have assumed differently. I would have thought that it meant that it's a rival to the first finger. You know, this is the thumb, let's say, is like the husband, and these are two wives, right? Like a tzara is a rival wife. I would say it's but apparently it does it like this. It says it's a rival to the thumb. Machvi Rav Huna. Rav Huna showed what this is. Vazal kala bekuli beirav, and the sound went throughout the whole yeshiva. Yitzi does it also. The sound goes to the whole base Menachem. Okay, beirav. They say Kain Gadol, my master Kain Gadol, cool off once on the floor. Amar Rav Yitzchak, al chadas. What he's saying, it means do something that's do a trick for us. Maihi, what trick could they do? Amrilay, they said, Achvi chida, show us how to do kida. Kida is a interesting sort of bowing where you bow on your fingertips or something. It's like a push up just on your nails, I think. Just on your thumbs. That's what it is. We had a Gemara somewhere where Levi became lame because he tried to show how to do kida in front of Rebbe, and he got hurt. And after that, he had a limp or something because of that. Yeah. Masikin I say ad shegizman shchita. They keep him busy until the time for the shchita. Tana, it was taught le masikin I say le benavel le bechiner ele bepeh. They would keep him busy, entertain him. That's probably what it is. Not with a harp and not with a lyre, rather with the mouth. Maya, what would they say? Im Hashem le'yivna bayis shav amlo bainav bay. Yeah, they would sing that probably. Im Hashem le'yivna bayis. If Hashem doesn't build the house, then in vain are the builders building. Okay, well, some Japanese guy built that, right? He was afraid of heights. Yeah. Miyakire Yerushalayim. Yes, I saw a documentary about the Twin Towers. They were saying how everyone just remembers the attack, but the Twin Towers were spectacular. There's a lot more to remember than just the negative. It's tremendous architecture, and the window washers. They had constant window washers. It took a month to go around the whole building. It was electronic window washer from the outside. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
the robot would go down and
It takes a month to get dirty.
they have to just to go down this thing like this. Anyway, okay. Miyakir Yerushalayim la yeshenim kol halayla kadei sheyishma kayin gadol kol havara. The special people of Yerushalayim would not sleep the whole night because they wanted the Kohen Gadol to stay up from the sound of their learning. They would make noise. Yakir Yerushalayim. I don't know if it means everyone in Yerushalayim is considered Yakire, or if Yakir means precious, the precious of Yerushalayim. Or maybe everyone in Yerushalayim is called precious, maybe. So that the sound of their learning, that the Kohen Gadol would hear activity in the city. So the city that doesn't sleep. So and he shouldn't fall asleep. Tanya, is that what's going on there? It was taught in a brayso. Abba Shol says, they would do the same thing outside of Yerushalayim because to commemorate the mikdash. The problem is over there they would come to sin. the typical sin would be that they're staying up late. The boys and the girls are going to hang out together. That's the problem. Amar Abaya, v'iteim Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak, and some say that Rav Nachman bar Yitzchak said it. Targuma nardai. When it says that they would stay up, and Yom Kippur night, it's referring to nardai. The Amalei Elio l'Rav Yehuda, Achva the Rav Salah Chasida. Elio, I guess Elio Navi, says to Rav Yehuda, the brother of Rav Salah Chasida, Amrisu, you asked, Amay lo yasi Mashiach? Why isn't Mashiach here? Va'idna Yoma Daf. But now is Yom Kippur, ve'evel kama besulta benardai, and some a bunch of virgins were lived with in Nardai. It sounds like it's on Yom Kippur, and they're committing the sin. Amar Lei, he says, HaKadosh Baruch Hu Mayamar, what is God saying about that? Amar Lei, LePesach HaTasrevet. Hashem is saying, well, the Yetzer Hara crouches by the door. It's very hard for them. The Satan Mayamar. So what does Satan say? Amar Lei Satan b'Yom Lesley Rishus Listune. He doesn't have any say on Yom Kippur. He's silenced on Yom Kippur. Mimai. How do you know this? Amarami Barchama Hasatan Begamatria Tlasme Avishiten Varba Habi. Tlasme Avishiten Varba Yaimi Yesle Rishusalistuni. Biamikpur Lesle Rishusalistuni. Turns out the word Hasatan is 364. That means that the Satan exists only 364 days. But the 365th day, which is Yom Kippur, he doesn't exist. He can't say anything on that day. So on Yom Kippur, he can't. So it's interesting what type of judgment that is. It's a judgment without any Satan, right? There's no Satan there.
Yeah.
It's just, I guess Hashem just forgives us. I guess that's what it is. Unless the pshat is that the Satan isn't there to take it to account for any sins that are performed on Yom Kippur, but he's still saying things from before. Maybe that's. Okay, the Mishnah says, "B'chol yom tamanasam mizbech b'kriyas hagevrei samach lebein mufanav ben achrav."
They license to do what they want.
That's
And it gives permission to the people. Or
Yeah.
excuse to the people.
maybe that's why Nardai did it on Yom Kippur, because the Satan wasn't there.
Here they are.
Yeah, the cameras are down.
Oh boy.
It's scary. There's a blackout, right? That's
Oh,
what
it
they
didn't
did.
happen. If you don't video it, it didn't happen.
So it gets dangerous when there's blackouts. So every day they would take a shovelful of ashes off the mizbech, and they would put it on the side of the mizbech, and miraculously it would get absorbed into the ground. It was a marble floor, but it would get absorbed. Shmuel, you with me? So when would they do this? B'kriyas hagever, at the time of the crow of the crowing of the rooster. We're going to see that gever may not mean rooster. We'll see soon. Or around that time, a little before, a little after. Yom Kippurim mechatzos. Yom Kippurim, they did it from midnight. And on the holidays, it would be from the first watch. How many watches are there in the night? 3. They would do it from the 1/3 of the night. You hear it? That's very early. My gas. The crow, the rooster didn't come. By the time it came, everyone was already there. It was packed. Tanan Hassam, it was stored over there. You have an interesting Mishnah. It says that if there's limbs that popped off the altar before chatzos, before midnight, so you put them back on. And if you don't put them back on, even though the fire started to burn them already, but there's still a little bit of flesh left. If you don't put them back on and you use that flesh for something, so that's considered me'ilah. You had personal benefit from something that's consecrated. Now, once the mitzvah is performed, then there's no more me'ilah. So if it's on the mizbeach till after Chatzais, and then it popped up, then it's considered the mitzvah was performed, and there's no more me'ila in it. It's taken care of. And that's after Chatzais. Where do we know this from? I went with the yeshiva last night we went to Grenald's camp. We made a fire.
Oh, wow.
Over there across the street from Grenald's Park. So I don't know. They got these coals that were like exploding.
Oh, wow, smart guys. It's good.
No, it wasn't.
The firecrackers.
It would go out. It would start. It would burn, and then the thing would like pop.
Oh, wow.
And then the fire would just disappear. Everything would just. It was like an explosion. The thing like
Trick fire, like trick candles.
electric candles. It never happened to me before. I never saw anything like that.
It went out after it popped.
It would pop and then it would like, then it would just disappear. It's like, where's the fire? It was
Into the marble floor. Into the marble floor.
onto the marble floor. Yeah. Minani Mili. Where do we know this from? This concept of before Chatzais, you have to put it back. After Chatzais, it's different. Amarav. Because of Echadaimer Kala Laila Vihikter. We're quoting a pasuk that's not really a pasuk. The pasuk says, "Hiya ila al maikta al mizbeach kol halayla," right? So al maikta, it's on there the whole night burning. Because of echadaimer kol halayla v'heirim. Another pasuk says that v'lava shakayin midevad michnas evad v'heirim. That means the whole time during the night he does the Trumas Hadeshin. So it's burning the whole night and he's doing the Trumas Hadeshin the whole night. So how do you have both of them the whole night? So chalkei, you divide it in half. Chetzav laktar, half the night is the mitzvah for it to burn. Chetzav larama, and half the night is the mitzvah to do Trumas Hadeshin, to take it's already considered burnt, it's consumed, and you can take the ashes off. Masav Rav Kana has a question. B'chol yom terminus mizbeach b'kriyas hagevrei samach le'ben mufana ben ma'ach rabim kipur mechatzais. B'regalim yashmur yishayin. There's a huge problem here. If I have to divide the night in half, then how could I do it at different times of the night? Okay, so you take it a little bit later. But how could I do before Chatzais on the holidays? Before Chatzais is such a big crowd, you wanted to get things started early. You do it from the first watch, but it's before Chatzais. The mitzvah of burning it isn't completed. You can't take anything off the altar then. If you tell me that it's based on the psukim, how could you do it earlier? Rabbi Yochanan says, I'm skipping. I'm skipping the words Hechem Achrina and they take it out. Rabbi Yochanan says it's understood from the pasuk. We're on Chaf Amid Beis. Kol halayla. It says all night. It says it will burn the whole night until the morning. What does it have to say until the morning? The whole night goes until the morning. What do you have to then tell me until the morning? So it says 10 biker lebiker shalayla. You have to add another morning. What that means is hilkach b'chol yom terminus v'rech b'kriyas hagever. I know what the morning is. The morning is dawn, but actually we're going to say that there's an earlier morning, and that morning could be any time that we want it to be. It could be kriyas hagever. That's the crow of the rooster, or we'll see later the person. Or it's a little before that crow, that cry, a little before after Sagi. That's enough. The Kohen Gadol on Yom Kippur, the Kohen Gadol has a lot of work. Chulsha sounds like weakness, but it sounds like it's like a lot of work. Avdin mechatzais, they do it from chatzais. Ubergalim, and on the holidays, the Nefishi Yisrael Nefishi Karbanos, they do it from the first watch, which is 1/3 of the night, as will be taught. The reason. Okay, let's leave it over here. I have to run to the yeshiva.